I'm going to save this preset from under the drop-down menu here so we can revisit it when we look at using the groove lock. So let's navigate to where we need to go. I'm in my library, application support, and I'm going to go all the way down to Spectrasonics. There's going to be a unique folder for the arpeggiator presets. Spectrasonics, Steam Engine, Trillion, Settings Library, Presets, and inside the arpeggiator subfolder, I'll call it EK Pattern. And now we'll see it appear here. There it is, EK Pattern. Let's try some other presets here, and I want to show you how some of the other features work. Okay, so again, this is only using the first 8 or 9 notes of the pattern. Now we can adjust the length of each event globally with this knob over here, and you'll see they'll all respond and shorten or lengthen together. Now, this is working great, but I want to point out that when you're shortening the length of the notes like this, it's tied to the release length in the amp envelope. So this is set properly, but let's say we're in the edit page, and in the amp envelope here, if the release isn't all the way at the bottom or near the bottom, let's say it's higher, something like that, when we shorten it, we won't hear the effects as much. Let's see what that sounds like. So you hear how it's not having the exact effect that you want. So we need to make sure the release length is fairly low, if not all the way low, in order for this to have maximum range of being able to affect the length of the steps. I think I'll raise that back up a little bit instead of having it all the way quite at the bottom. Something like that should be pretty good. Now the other thing we can do is edit individual lengths of notes by holding down the Shift key and dragging on the right corner. So we can edit the lengths like that and make them uniquely longer or shorter. And if we drag all the way over into the next event lane, it'll go into the next lane and tie it over together. So we Shift click and drag the right end of a note to either lengthen or shorten its duration. And if we want to create a tied note, we can drag over, but we can also double click on the switch to the right, and that'll lengthen the note like that. And we can continue doing that and it'll lengthen it to create nice long notes. Let's edit that and customizing the pattern here a bit. And we can affect the placement of these events on the grid with the swing control for more fine or nuanced control. All the way off, and these fall right on the grid. But as we increase this, like you're used to with quantized parameters in your DAW, it'll offset every second 16th note, and all the way up will become almost like an 8th note triplet in this case of 16th notes. And you can hear it's delaying the second 16th note so much that it's truncating the beginning of this note. And I can correct that, of course, by shortening the note lengths. So you hear that as they're shorter, the offset doesn't truncate the next note. But I don't like it with this swing anyway. It doesn't really lock with the drum groove. That works better. Stay tuned, and in the next video we're going to look at the different trigger modes.